fine. We waited on the doctor, and the doctor never got there. And Charlie was born. Well, there wasn't a doctor there, and Pa King, my dad, delivered the baby, and I don't know whether it was, and he also had to deliver another one of us, Richard. Pa King had to deliver Richard. The doctor didn't get there in time, but with one of them, I don't know which one it was. But the doctor told Daddy if he was going to do the delivery, and he needed to teach him exactly how to tie off the cord. And,
was he getting it wrong?
Yeah, kind of, because I think they had to tie it in two different places.
Oh, so they could cut it later?
And cut it in the middle, so because the placenta, the afterbirth would bleed too, it would lose blood and make a mess. I assumed that was why that needed to be tied off. So they tied it at two different places and cut in the middle.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I taught Daddy how to do that. But anyway,
didn't they learn that from like raising animals and stuff?
No, somehow or another the animals managed to take care of themselves, and I don't know how they did it. God provided for them, I reckon, and did it. But did you know that?
No.
So next time you'll know.
I know he said you cut your foot with
Yeah, that was another time. I was about 14 years old then, and we lived at another place, also at Almaville. I was always ambitious, out trying to clean things up, make it look a little better, And we didn't have a lawnmower or nothing. No such thing. Didn't even have electricity. Didn't have none of that. Had a sling blade thing. We called it a lively lad. And I'd cut, weeds in the yard. But I got on the outside of the yard fence and was doing it. And went in the house, to the house, and sharpened the lively lad blade really good and sharp. And went back and was slinging it. Well, I didn't hit my foot, but it hit what we called a buck bush, but it's kind of had a woody stem, and that woody stem was strong enough that whenever I went back with the sling blade, it bounced it back onto my ankle and cut it, cut all the leaders and everything in it, and of course that's been a while, but if you can feel that right there, it's still there, but it cut all the leaders in too, and my foot just gaped open like a mouth, because it had cut the leaders and everything all in too, and anyway.
Wow.
Had to go to the field.
And Dad saw you do that or something, or?
No, let's see. I don't know.
I think he said he ran in or something and said, you cut your leg off, or something like that.
Well, I don't know. Now, he would have been, if I was 14, he would have been 4. He would have just been 4 years old.
Yeah.
It's possible at that age he could have known. But anyway, I went and Mama wrapped it tight, with the towel and everything. But Dad, and we didn't have a car, nothing, right. No phone, no car. But Daddy was plowing corn somewhere up about a half a mile or a mile away from the house, and she had sent one of them, and I think that was Ed, to go to get Daddy to come, and he went and got the man that run the grocery store, Mr. Pope Wilkinson, to take me to Murfreesboro to the doctor, about the foot. Well, by the time we got there, like 3 hours had passed by, and it was already getting sore by that time. But Mama had the towel, wrapped tight around it to keep it from bleeding. And back then, what they did was just in that open gash, I took these long needles and poked in the gash. And I'm telling you, I've screamed. You could have heard me out in the street. Because we was at a doctor's office. We wasn't at the hospital or nothing like that. And had to sew that up, sew all those leaders back together, and that's why that hump is that you can feel it.
That's where all the knots are?
Yeah. And anyway, then what they did was then put this whole leg left my toe sticking out, had it in a plaster cast, just like if you'd have broke your leg from my knee to my toe.
Wow.
All that summer, that's how, and I don't know whether they did it that time or the next time I went to the doctor. They cut a hole right where the gash was so that it could be, we put alcohol on it, kept the alcohol on it, yeah. And I learned something. On a fresh cut, alcohol burns like crazy, but after it's old, after the sore is old, it don't burn. And that's strange. But anyway, all that summer I hopped around on crutches. So that kind of put a quietus on whatever I was going to do that summer.
Weren't getting in as much trouble then?
Well, I didn't get to help. I generally helped, Mama with the children and with the garden and cutting the grass and whatever, trying to help. I didn't help much that summer. Well, I was hopping around on crutches with this whole leg in a cast. I guess the moral to that is don't cut buck bushes with a live that.
I think I might be able to avoid that.
Can we all get a picture together?